Hey guys, I'm from Team Mesa here. I'm going to talk about the 5 things you should consider before owning a supercar. I know most of you at one point in your life dreamed of owning a supercar, but let's see what it actually means or takes to own a supercar. And those 5 things are finding the right car, importing, registration, maintenance, and selling the car. Alright, let's get started. Firstly, you need to decide which car you're most interested in, like a Ferrari, GTR, a Lamborghini, or an Aston Martin, etc. It might sound like a stupid question since you might think you're going to just import any road legal cars and you're paying the import duties, right? So you can just import any car you want. Well, the answer is no, you can't import any car you want as there's a lot of restrictions regarding that. Firstly, if you're buying a car, you need to check whether it's being directly sold in India or it has to be imported. If it is sold here, everything is cool. You can just go get one and you can just skip to the maintenance part in this video. But if it isn't, then there's a lot of problems you need to take care of first. First of it is the compliance, like whether it's left-sided car or right-sided car, or the emissions and the Euro spec compliance. India follows Euro spec, so it should be Euro spec compliant. After this, say you found your car, and for easy understanding, think of it as a hypothetical situation where you are importing a Ferrari 488 GTP and you're buying a 488 GTP directly from a Ferrari dealership in India. Alright, let's say you want to buy a 488 GTP in Indian dealership. It would cost 3.88 crores ex-showroom Delhi, and if you want to import the same car, it would cost you $250,000 in the USA and 185,000 euros in the UK. Of course, you can't import any car from the USA, but if converted into Indian rupees, Ferrari would cost around 1.7 crores in the US and 1.55 crores from the UK. So why the heck do we ever need to buy one in India directly? It's so freaking expensive, but it's not all bells and whistles for the imported one, especially because the import tax is a whopping 125%. This is just the beginning. And moving on to the next topic, importing. For understanding, say that 480 GTP was unavailable in India and therefore needs to be imported, we already know that we need to pay 125% tax, and depending on the country being imported from, it might vary. And you did that and still importing feels cheaper, right? Because 125% of 1.55 crores is 1.93 crores. Put together, that's a 3.5 crores. That's like saving more than 35 lakh rupees and you could easily get yourself a Merc, right? But no, it's not exactly like that. Well, the problem is it's not the only thing you need to pay for. You need to pay for a bunch of other stuff like transportation fees, other taxes, and other import charges, which a single tax can go up to 30%, which easily exceeds the money you would pay if you were to buy new from a dealership. Of course, you might ask, why go through the trouble of finding and importing a new car? Why not just import a used one since it's cheaper and tax reduced since it's 125%, right? Well, there are a ton of requirements for each. Like if importing a new car, it has to be from the same country it was manufactured, or it should have never been registered before. And for used ones, it should be certified for at least 5 years of use after importing. And don't forget the mind-blowing taxes for used ones. Plus, if it is prone to problems, you're going to have a very bad time, and more on that later in the video. And also there's a huge chance that it will sit there in the customs for a shit long time. And also you can only import cars from Mumbai, Calcutta and Chennai. Say you have gone through hell importing the car and hope it'll be all good now that you have brought the car to India. Then comes the part where you need to register the vehicle. Depending on where you want to register, the price of the registration varies greatly. More on road tax later in the video. Here comes maintenance, the most difficult part to any supercar owner all around the world and especially in India. Well, you might be thinking about the fuel efficiency and fuel costs, but that's not the problem. Pretty sure a Ferrari owner has more than enough money to refill the tank whenever he wishes. Rather, the lack of service stations and mechanics capable of servicing these cars is the problem. I'm not saying there aren't any, but the number is too low. Also, any supercar owner has to map out exactly where he needs to go beforehand and then take it out, and has to be extremely cautious about the underbelly of the car due to Indian roads. I have little idea about the exact costs in India for servicing and will update soon, but in this video I will compare the price in the US. It would cost around 5 lakh rupees every 3 years for major servicing which needs to be done, and a lakh every year for oil change and stuff. That is excluding any damage to the car or tire changes which needs to be done more often than regular cars. For example, say the vehicle's tire is punctured. Take a wild guess and how much do you think it would cost in the comments below. And also, any supercar's tire needs to be fixed by a pro. Putting all this together in the best case scenario, this is how it would go. You buy a Ferrari in the dealership for 3.88 crores, that is with no extra fittings and completely stock. It costs more than 15% road tax depending on the state, Karnataka being 20% for any vehicle more than 20 lakhs. And the registration fees also varies depending on the place. Altogether, it would cost a whopping 5 crore to 6 crore stock, and nobody is going to keep it stock and will definitely change the exhaust and other things which will make the total up even more. And the clean fuel efficiency for a Ferrari 480 GTB is 18 mpg and is around 7 kmpl. Expect way less than 7 kmpl. For an average case scenario, say you were to travel 50 kilometers every week, it would be a total of 35,000 rupees minimum in petrol. And the maintenance cost, which I'm assuming until I can get a valid info considering USA prices, as more than 2.5 lakh rupees minimum in for maintenance per year. A total of 2 to 3 lakh rupees if the Ferrari has zero problems, which is impossible, and excluding tire changes. Hence, expect way more than 3 lakh rupees every year just on maintenance, even if you were to take it out once every week and use it very less. And if you were to decide to sell it, the car does not depreciate its value like the Mercedes C-Class or a BMW, which you can find for just 20 lakhs. Nevertheless, it will lose some of its value, but the buyer needs to be completely aware of the condition, since if landed with a problematic car, it would most definitely empty pockets. So if you were planning to buy a supercar like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, keep at least 10 crores aside, and if you could live your life with the remaining money, then you could most definitely afford a supercar. This is my first video. Please excuse me if I've done anything or said anything wrong. I'll be more than grateful to change and gladly accept your advice. Please leave your comments below about any info you have about the car. Thank you. See ya.